to episode 420 of In Touch with iOS, the podcast that keeps you connected to the ever-changing Apple ecosystem. I am your host, Dave Ginsburg. Each week, we break down the latest news, updates, tips, and hidden features across iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, Vision Pro, and Apple TV, all with insights from our friends, experts, and the Apple community, because here we read those release notes so you don't have to. So we're back for another great episode, and let's check out to see who is here this week. And Jill McKinley, you're here as well, as always. How you doing, Jill? Glad you're here.
Great. I'm on vacation, and I saw a lot of birds, and I bought some trees today, so I'm feeling good.
That's awesome. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
And Marty Jencius is here as well. How you doing, Marty?
I'm doing good. It's I think before we recorded, we just talked about how crazy it's been a day for both you and I, and so much going on in our worlds that are all over the next couple of weeks for me. Trying to get ready for son's wedding and just, university schedule and things winding down. So this is a reprieve from all of that. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. And last but not least, Eric Bolden, he made it. What do you got behind you this week?
This week, it is an unfolding maidenhair fern.
Oh, okay.
Kind of knotted up.
Well, there you go. It is knotted up. Well, glad you're here. And glad you are here this week. We're here to talk about all things Apple and technology. I want to give a shout out to the Naples Mac user group today. I did speak there today and had an amazing time with everybody. Everybody was engaged, enjoyed the presentation I did on what was released by Apple so far this year, and got people inspired about the new Macs and the iPhone 17e, and even touched on parallels because people were asking about that too, using Windows on a MacBook Neo. So it was a great presentation. So glad to hang out with those folks this morning. So I appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get started. We got a lot to talk about. And as always, there's always some news that's going on. But let's go ahead and start off with Vision Pro. It's In Touch with Vision Pro. Well, they did release the new developer betas, visionOS 26.5 Beta 4. And it looks like there's some new features. Apple is going to be introducing the subscription pricing terms as well as subscriptions through the App Store. We'll talk about that a little later, but that's in there as well. And as far as what type of billing you can do, but overall, really not much else. Just a lot of developer stuff. Wouldn't you guys say, Marty, Eric?
Yeah, it's.
Eric, I'll just say Marty because you're not on beta, Eric.
Yeah, it's under the hood stuff. You can delve in a little deeper and figure out what they're actually trying to do with their subscription service and what they're offering potential users to do. So, and I don't know if we're going to talk about that later or talk about it now. I can.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. All
just
right.
More touching on what's going on in beta here. But let's go ahead and move on to the next story here. I just found this article actually a few hours ago as we record this. Apple is giving up on the Vision Pro after M5 refresh flop. Huh? Apple has all but given up on the Vision Pro after the M5 model failed to revitalize interest in the device. This is from Mac Rumors. They learned this. Apple's updated Vision Pro with a faster M5 chip and a more comfortable band in October 2025, but no other hardware changes, and consumers were still not interested. It's been criticized for its high price, its uncomfortable weight. The device is over 1.3 pounds, but with the even more comfortable dual knit band that Apple added, and we were able to buy for our M2 versions, it continues to be hard to wear for long periods of time. M5 chip added a 120 hertz refresh rate, 10% more rendering pixels, but additional 30 minutes of battery, blah, blah, blah. This is another piece here that they're just saying it's doomed and Vision Pro isn't going to happen. So what do you think, Eric?
I think that Apple's got postings out now trying to hire additional engineers for application development with the Vision products. So, yeah, it's still going pretty strong.
Yeah, I think it is too. How about you, Marty?
I get tired of this stuff. Who is it for? It's not for consumers anymore. It is for industry. is for training. And if there's going to be a Vision Pro 2, it'll be geared towards that. Yeah, I get tired of this stuff because, Mac Rumors apparently has its pulse on everything that's going on.
That's right. For sure. Any comments on this, Jill?
I'm hoping for it. I keep hoping for it. And, you talk a lot about, Dave, about how you love immersive video. And I do a lot of that on Oculus. And we talk about productivity, and Eric talks about what things you can do on it. And Marty watches a lot of things on it. And these are all things I'm hoping for, that it comes through the other side. And, just for me as a consumer, I keep waiting for that thing that says, oh yeah, now we've arrived, and I haven't seen it yet. And I'm hoping for it. I hope that's not true.
Yeah. Yep. No, I definitely agree. It's almost clickbait. I saw it quickly and grabbed it, and that's I fell for it. But let's
whether it's true or not, it's poor analysis. It's like these guys aren't paying attention to some of the articles we'll talk about today in terms of use and potential. And if you read the comments, it's kind of interesting. The first comment in the article says, well, here's 37 things it can do. And the last one being an article we're going to talk about. So is it beleaguered or is it really functional? I don't know.
Or is it just a limited audience?
I hope Jill gets a Vision Pro 2 that reduces the size of it, that gives her the immersion experience that she wants, reduces the weight, and probably not reduce the cost. But I think I hope you get that. I think the glasses direction is not going to have all those goodies in it.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. So let's move on here. And this kind of interests me more so because I had this done. Apple Vision Pro, it was used in world's first cataract surgery. Apple Vision Pro hit another medical use milestone, with a New York ophthalmologist becoming the first surgeon to perform cataract surgery with using the spatial computing headset. Dr. Eric Rosenberg of Sight MD completed the initial procedure in October 2025 and has since performed hundreds of additional cases using Scope XR, a surgical platform he co-developed with Apple's mixed reality device. Scope XR streams live feeds from 3D digital surgical microscopes under the Vision Pro directly into the Vision Pro, which is going to give you operative field in stereo 3D while overlaying preoperative diagnostic data. The platform also supports real-time remote collaboration, also allowing surgeons to face unexpected virtual joint procedures, as well as seeing exactly what the operating surgeon sees. So, and he says this as a quote: "We are now able to bring the world's best surgeon into an operating room at any hour with from anywhere on the planet." And he says this in a press release. From residents performing their first cases to surgeons facing unexpected complications, the technology democratizes the access to expertise that saves vision. Another example of Apple moving towards enterprise and professional use for the Vision Pro. And of course, they got to go talking about it's not consumer facing. Well, this is exactly what you said, Marty. The fact of the matter is this is becoming more and more of an enterprise and medical type of device that's going to come in more and more handy. We're going to hear more stories about this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. We covered one last week on Vision Profiles, and it's fun because every week something new, whether it's enterprise or whether it's medical, seems to be people are demonstrating and using it. So,
seems so. What do you think, Eric?
Anything that has elements of a documentary works really well in the Vision Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, the ability to have multiple people seeing the same surgery, the whole idea that you can have backup and call somebody and say, hey, can you quick jump in and take a peek at this? That's stuff they used to talk about in science fiction. This is real life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
I was going to mention that I had robot surgery once, and I watched on YouTube how people do this robot surgery, and it looked like a periscope, and one person looks at it and does the surgery. But my hospital is a learning hospital for students who are learning to become doctors, and so he told me, if your right side hurts a lot, it's because the students had to do that side. I'm like, okay. But wouldn't it have been nice if the professor could be watching along with the student who was doing it, as it compared to being just one person standing there at a periscope? And I thought, boy, that would have just been great, because he'd say, no, not that. That was a kidney.
Yeah.
Put it back.
Leave the liver
seems
alone.
like
Don't say anything about.
Seems like there
Don't
should
mention
be a
kidneys
step
to Eric.
between there, between I'm going to do this side, then you do that side. Yeah.
We'll compare notes later.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this way. My left side healed in 3 weeks, and I don't have a single problem with it. My right side, if I turn too much, it hurts, and it took 10 weeks to heal. That's the difference.
Yep. Next topic here. Latest Star Wars movie cut unnecessary costs by using Apple Vision Pro. Director Jon Favreau says a specialized app that he let him film better frame IMAX shots using virtual theater environment in the Vision Pro. He cites this as one method to cut back on reshoots and reduce costs. Filmmaking has only become more expensive as commercialized tools have made the medium more accessible. It's easier just to grab a smartphone and shoot some footage, but reaching Hollywood caliber isn't so simple. And he was interviewed about this, and he said, so I'm making an IMAX movie and I'm looking at a TV screen. And then no matter how your TV screen is, it's not an IMAX screen. That is true. So the solution was building software that would let Favreau frame a shot while viewing it in a virtual IMAX theater. I could watch and take all of what people will see. This is a piece of technology that existed without us, and how the film industry needs to really benefit from this type of tech. He says consumer tech, although it being expensive and it has its own trade-offs, but offering a unique feature set, the resolution of displays combined with full immersive experience allows for better shots. So yeah, I could see this being another tool. Here's another way of using Vision Pro beyond it being a consumer device.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jill?
Yeah, did you ever do that Picard thing? There's a visual immersion thing with them filming a Picard episode. And what you see is Riker standing there in front of a camera monitor watching, the scene shoot out.
Yeah.
And he can only be at one screen at a time. There were, 4 cameras or something like that around the scene itself. I thought, this is amazing, because this would allow you to switch camera A, camera B, look at what it would look like on the screen. I mean, I think it's a marvel, for movie making.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, Hollywood should look at this as a way of making films better. So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, me too. How about you, Marty?
I'm not quite the Star Trek aficionado, but there's the not the latest
Star Wars.
series. Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to give you another use for this. But not the latest series, the Academy one, but what was the previous one?
Strange Worlds.
That's Strange Worlds. Strange Worlds is shot like in a complete circular. Many of the shots are done in a complete circular frame with video monitors just edge to edge, creating the whole circular frame experience. And the actors are in the middle of the set doing that, doing the acting and the piece around it. So this whole imaginary world. From a director's standpoint, feeding that into a headset versus watching it, on set is a whole different way of looking at the output and maybe considering cutting the film differently or cutting the scene differently. Just the other, and it's not mentioned in here, but the other thought I had about this was, since you can project wireframes with a Vision Pro headset, you could construct what the set will look like around actors who are just standing around a green screen, and you can get your distance and blocking done through the headset without having to do necessarily too many retakes.
Yep. Eric?
It's just a good idea. I mean, that the something like IMAX, it's not something everyone has been able to go through and get lots of practice and experience shooting, and you get a director who knows kind of how to make it work. But trying to go find an IMAX theater to see, did your shots work, and then say, oh, nope, we got to call everybody back next month because we screwed up and the perspective is a little off and it looks like everyone's going to fall off the edge of the planet. That's just a great idea. And I think, when more immersive stuff happens, same thing. Whether it's for the Vision Pro or one of the other headsets, having a Vision Pro there to cross-check the work to make sure the quality is there and you don't have extra bits showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we'll start seeing Vision Pros in a lot of film work.
I just thought of a use case when Marty said something. That let's say you were directing Starfleet Academy. You could be watching a whole other show, so you didn't have to suffer under the horribleness of that show, and then just let them just do what they're going to do,
I like Starfleet Academy.
I'm sorry, Eric.
Too bad they canceled it.
Oh, sorry, I was just catching the game. What'd you just ask me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You could be rewriting the script while they're doing the actual show. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yes, please.
To the last story on Vision Pro here this week. And believe it or not, I am using Patently Apple, Marty's favorite site on Twitter. Apple wins a patent for bridge emitters and sensors to keep AR glasses aligned over time and more. Apple's filing describes a head-mounted display such as AR glasses or a headset that can monitor and correct its own alignment without external equipment. The system is built around an optical bridge sensor that places the bridge of the device, and the sensors couples the left and right display paths together, measuring relative shifts between projectors, waveguides, and other elements that occur from drops, thermal expansion, and everyday wear. And what is new noteworthy? It's got core innovation is making the bridge itself an active calibration tool. Instead of relying solely on external cameras or user-initiated setup, the device embeds light sources, optical sensors, and a dedicated third-wave bridge. During the calibration, the vertical cavity surface emitted lasers is similar to the emitters here. So, and it goes on and on about how it works in practice and gives a lot of details here. But this is interesting to see where this goes, because that just kind of tells you maybe Apple is going to be doing those glasses. So what do you think, Marty?
There was some discussion about this patent, I think, a few shows back, or at least I had found something on it in terms of this is really important in terms of glasses, because, for example, during the show, I'm constantly shifting my glasses. My glasses are sliding down my nose, and this will supposedly make automatic adjustments. So if I tilt my head, I'm going to be able to still have the type of perspective that the glasses is needed to provide, even though the glasses have shifted a little bit from one side to the other. I think it's important and significant that Apple has this patent at this point, because other glass folks will be trying to do the same thing, and this will constrain them for some of the advances that Apple has already gotten under patent. So I think it's very cool, and I think it really is setting up a different experience than what you can get with Meta Gen 2s, which is the next market competitor for glasses. So,
yep.
It's also an indicator that at some point, if Apple wants to build a lighter Vision Pro, if they can eliminate some cameras, eliminate, a few components, that might be a way to pull some weight out of the headset or simplify the headset.
Mhm.
I'm still hoping for the Air.
Any thoughts on this, Jill?
I have lousy eyesight and I'm really quite blind. And so I read this and I thought, gosh, I hope this is leading to something that just makes vision better for, those of us who have, just really lousy vision. And I thought, I don't know, I was excited because whenever Apple buys something that could change the way everything is, could they make an AR glasses, not only to make the things all look right, what's the future of this? And I agree with you. I think that this could make this a more comfortable experience for everybody. Because my Oculus gets a little out of whack, and I imagine it's even worse in the AR glasses. You just can't see anything. So
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's move on to beta this week. Beta 4 for over all the OSs came out this week, and it is beta iOS 26.5, iPad OS 26.5 beta 4 was released to developers. There's nothing really exciting that's really has come out with this just yet. For registered developers, I haven't seen a public beta come out just yet. Maybe delaying that a little bit. But we know some of this new does not including the Siri capabilities, as well as the Maps app is going to have ads. So nothing really has changed. I don't think I've not noticed anything. If anybody else running beta has noticed, I don't think there really isn't much else that's changed here from what we've been reporting already.
No.
I have the beta. I
All right.
didn't notice a thing.
Yep. So, and then of course they also released the fourth beta for WatchOS 26.5 and tvOS 26.5. We already talked about Vision Pro. Is this a week after the beta 3? No word on anything on either of those. So just if you're on the beta, check her out, see what it comes up with here. And then moving to In Touch with Mac this week, the fourth beta of macOS Tahoe 26.4 is now available. Again, it's and then it just got updated that it is available to public testers now, so that must have came out for the other devices too. Nothing new. It's still the same thing. This is kind of a slow beta year. I don't have a beta phase here, and it's unusual. They just tell you that we're getting really close to WWDC, and they're not doing too much other changes because obviously we'll expect the 27 version of all the OSs that'll come out and get announced in June. So it's going to be slow, I think, for a bit in this world. And then let's talk about MacBook Neo. We love MacBook Neo, and I had a really great conversation today at the Mac user group about the MacBook Neo, and people are asking lots of questions about it, and but they are still dealing with some delays. On Apple.com, it is definitely it is definitely showing that it's a few weeks out before it's going to get released, and it is extended deliveries. Really, is what it is. Let me bring this up here. Sorry, and it is. It even you can find it I guess in stock at Walmart and Amazon. Offer deliveries as soon as tomorrow, the next day. But when it launched in March, it just became a huge hit, as we know. And it's about a 2 or 3 week delivery estimate. I've ordered some at work, and I think it's just shipped, and I ordered it about 3 weeks ago. So it is legit on this time here. So, but Walmart. You won't find any discounts, nor I would expect that. I don't think you're going to see much of any discounts on this. But if you're shopping for a Mac and you need it right now, I think the MacBook Air M5 is a fine choice to go with if you can't wait to have something as simple as that. They're always putting sales on the M5 MacBook Air. In fact, I finally started using my MacBook Air today. I use it for the presentation, so feverishly setting it up because I brought it with me and then brought it to the I had to do a presentation from work, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have the presentation on iCloud. Hope to God I can download it. and then didn't have Zoom installed, didn't have any. This Keynote wasn't installed since I hadn't even done anything with it yet. So, but I got it done in like 15 minutes. It was great and had it all ready to go. So, but it's a super fast machine. I'm very impressed with the Air. But we hope this will improve with the Neo. I mean, Neo's a pretty amazing machine. It really is. You guys, any comments or thoughts on this with the shipping, Marty or Jill?
It's interesting because you see articles like this, which if you go into the Apple site and order it through the Apple site, you're going to see the delays. But what you'll see is folks will go, "Oh, that's funny. I just walked into Walmart today and they had the 512 in citrus, just what I wanted." And so it leads a false sense of perception in terms of availability. Is it really unavailable, or are these folks sort of just picking up and getting luck because they just happen to hit the store at the time with the particular model and size that they wanted?
Yeah, Eric, I think.
Yeah, it's available kind of spotty, and it depends on what color you want it and which version, the 256 or 512. Costco has discount on theirs all the time by default, but they don't always have all the colors.
Mhm.
So, and they seem to be mostly just shipping them to warehouses, because everything in the warehouse somebody snaps up. So they've got them, just not necessarily where you are. But May 5th, I think, is the delivery window for Indigo.
Yeah, which is not even a week away.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad. Jill, anything you want to add?
No, I'm just glad to see they have a hit on their hands. I'm pretty excited for them. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, that was In Touch with Mac. Let's hit some other topics this week. Perplexity has released the Comet AI browser for the iPad. So it's now available for iPad users. This was added with some new features, including combining the web browser experience with an AI chatbot. Then Perplexity works with AI models on OpenAI, Anthropic, and more. They brought Comet to the iPhone back in March, first launching the AI-powered web browser for the Mac, but now it's on the iPad. Support starts today. Is it today? It was yeah. We'll consider it today. It was yesterday, but they've introduced the proper iPad OS support and then features of multiple browser windows and better multitasking. You can go to the App Store, you can install it, it's ready to go. And this is very cool. Anybody use the Comet browser at all?
I haven't. Perplexity is probably the AI I use the least. So, and nothing against it. If you really needed research, to do it, but I hear that their new agent's fantastic. I think it's great what they're doing to bring this to iPad, and I love the war. Let me say it this way: I don't know anything about the app, but I love this battle going on between them to who can increase capacity and use and usefulness, and so I love just the battle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree. Marty, Eric, have you used Comet? Mm-hmm. Okay, you're muted, Marty.
I've got about 15 days left on my Perplexity account. I've been disenchanted by Perplexity lately, by asking it to do things that it just hasn't produced. That then I turn around and open up another AI, ask it the same thing, and it does it for me pretty quickly, without a lot of complications. So yeah, the idea of downloading a browser that has it embedded in it, I've got 15 days left, so we'll see whether or not if I re-up for another month.
You can find out if it's got the free version, see what it does with that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay for it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be interesting. See where it goes. YouTube is now testing an AI Ask YouTube conversational search feature. This is found that the YouTube is testing the search feature. It says it's meant to feel more like a conversation than a search interface. Users are able to ask complex questions in the natural language, receive results that include video and text, and then ask follow-up questions. And the new search options is part of YouTube Labs. So it's an opt-in program that that lets YouTube Premium subscribers get early access to the experimental features and prototypes. So you can try this as a US user and subscribe for the labs with your premium account. You try out the new search and you can enter a prompt like a search bar, like plan a 3-day road trip between San Francisco and Santa Barbara, and then ask YouTube option to get the results. And then some AR summaries, text, short videos, long videos, and relative segments that are highlighted. This is kind of intriguing. I think something you could really look at potentially having an even better experience. Because we all go on YouTube spend hours and hours on trying to find things we want to a related topic. Now you can actually use the AI features and be able to search for it. What do you think there, Derek?
Anything that lets you search through video in a different way is well worth it. And if you can avoid, traditional searches which have results that have nothing to do with what you asked or what you wanted back, so I'm hoping it improves it and maybe gives you some more customized ways of querying, so it's not just what whoever produced the video thought you might want to search for.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Marty?
I was in class teaching before this, and there were 3 videos from YouTube I like to use. I don't like to use the university system because then my video gets interrupted every 3 minutes or every 2 minutes with a commercial. So I have to log on to my own system to find it. And, I was in class beforehand trying to find this particular video that I was looking for and had a really difficult time trying to find it. Although I've used it many times. Something like this would be very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because and especially with premium, I suffer whenever I have a non-premium account. I don't care what anybody says about paying for it. It's worth every penny, in my opinion. Jill, what do you think?
I thought this was neat. I'm excited to look at it. And I think the thing that you're going to have to realize about AI is right now when we say, oh, we're talking to AI, we're talking to ChatGPT, we're talking to Claude, we're talking to Perplexity. My friend said, if you're starting an AI podcast, aren't you just going to get bored talking about these 3 products? And I said, oh, no. It's going to be in Todoist. It's going to be in this. It's going to be in that. It's going to be in YouTube. It's going to be a feature of almost anything. And this seems like a really good use case for it. One of the things that YouTube makes, if you do own a YouTube channel, is they have an AI to talk about your analytics. So you could say, hey, YouTube AI, I just started a new podcast. How do you think it did, now that I'm 5 episodes in? And it'll give you a rundown. Well, this is good and this is bad. And I'm like, man, they're good at making this, making it so that it's really useful. And I think this is going to be incredibly useful to people too. So.
Agreed. Definitely agree. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to go try it. We'll jump in the labs and see what happens. Huh? I don't worry about it. I'm not afraid of beta testing in YouTube labs. So
right.
It's not breaking anything. So, next topic here, iOS 26.4. They did add a convenient feature in a new iCloud feature, and here's how you can enable it. They launched it last month, in March here, with, of course, Apple Music, podcasts, and a lot more. But there's also a feature that makes iCloud on the web more useful than before, thanks to this addition of search and how you can enable it. So Apple's web service usually lag behind the native apps, but iOS 26.4 did help close the gap, because you can search Drive and Photos and quickly do this search from within Google Drive iCloud Drive, excuse me. And most of the major tech companies prioritize web access for their services like Google does. And so with Apple, the reverse has always been true, but they prioritized it now that they've upgraded this, and it's great. You now have that search feature. So you just go into the data access at iCloud.com, and then you can also turn on allow search, and it allows you to be able to search the drive or photos on iCloud for the web. Now, and this is file names, folder names, documents types, and on iCloud Drive. Web services like Google Drive and Google Photos is an absolute essential, but now Apple's got to do it. And it goes through and describes how to open it up. You just go in the settings in your iPhone, tap your name at the top, tap iCloud, scroll down to go to Apple, iCloud.com, toggle allow search, and then you got to go in here. So I'm not only on the iPhone, I find that iCloud.com going on the web on a Mac works really well too, because as I described earlier about my in a pinch trying to freak out, that's how I was able to find my my presentation this morning, because it was on my web-based version of iCloud because I hadn't really synced my Air yet. So worked flawlessly. It was really easy to navigate, get to, and I really like the new interface on iCloud.com on the web that Apple's done with this, and going to the mail and all that stuff. And this is going to be even better, being able to do it on an iPhone, going to the web as well. What do you think, Jill?
Yeah, I thought it was cool, and I think though that's a service. So far, what they've done with search has been great, and I didn't get a chance to enable this afternoon, but reading about it, we're just all getting too many files, and so if you can search for it, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Marty?
I am just looking at this now, and I'm thinking about it in terms of the way I do search. I'm never too far away from a Mac OS device. So I don't necessarily think of using my phone in iOS to go in to start to search for files. So I'll add this and see how this helps in terms of categories and in terms of storage. I jump between iCloud and a lot of stuff on Google that I have stored in terms of folders. And so, yeah, this will probably pull me back more to thinking about iCloud to kind of close the ecosystem.
Yep. Eric?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying all of the different features that they've rolled out, and this has saved me on occasions when I've had a really slow network connection, like when I was trying to move 400,000 messages.
Yeah.
Because if you do it through the web interface, it has access to everything. It doesn't have to download it first and then move the thing. It just moves it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Jill? Anything for you, Jill?
Oh, I said about just having great searches and looking for files, and my friend uses iCloud on the web all the time, and same thing, yeah. So, but having a search is important for it all.
Agreed. Okay, and then this was interesting. Google Photos is now going to get an AI wardrobe feature. Google Photos is getting a new wardrobe planning feature that will help you decide what to wear. AI will put the images of clothing from Google Photos library, organizing clothing items into a digital closet. You'll be able to put items together to create outfits and even virtually try them with a digital avatar on to see how they look. The Google Photos app will show all these items of clothing in this wardrobe section of the collections tab. Clothing can also be viewed with specific categories like tops and bottoms, and items of clothing can be mixed, and it's got a save to a digital mood board. Okay. I guess here's this as in the popular comedy 1995's comedy Clueless, the main character Cher Horowitz has an iconic digital wardrobe that Google seems to be making a reality with Google Photos. I think I remember that from that movie. And pairing different tops and bottoms and creating an outfit. Google's version of the Clueless virtual wardrobe will be coming to Google Photos this summer, and it will be available to Android users first and then iOS users. Of course, why not? This is strange. What do you guys think? As Marty cracks up.
I'm still getting over the fact that you watched Clueless. I hate to say
I kind of remember that scene. I didn't say I watched
Clueless
it.
is great. Great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I find a shirt that I really like in terms of style and size, and then see how many different colors it comes in, and then purchase all the different colors. And that's my wardrobe selection.
I'm pretty much like that too. I just I've been on a obsession buying more shirts lately. Well, because weight loss helps that a little bit. But I've been finding some nicer shirts and trying to be stylish. But hey, and then look, and then just to get you, Marty, look, Wheeler Bucket says Clued is a great movie. See,
Yeah. Okay.
we're not the only one.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something
Well, I mean, I think
kind
that
of strange.
bringing in what we were talking about before is that you think of AI and you might do it for research and looking for information, creating graphics like I do or whatever. But
Yeah.
getting it out to people to where they want to use it. It's not for me either. I'm not someone who cares about outfits and anything else.
No.
But it is just going
Right.
to become ubiquitous in whether it's clothes. I've used AI to pick a new hairstyle. I tried different hairstyles on with ChatGPT to see if I can figure out what I want to do with my hair. I think we're all going to find use for it, whatever way we want to use it. And that even though maybe we're not the clothes people who want to mix and match our wardrobes, someone is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have two hairstyles, needs a cut and got a cut.
Yeah.
I mean, if it
Yep.
can tell you that these two colors clash before you're at dinner, that could be helpful.
My mom used to have to buy me Granimals. So did anyone
Just
remember
match the
Granimals?
labels.
I remember
Match the
Granimals.
labels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I couldn't match my own clothes. So this is the modern Granimals.
I'm colorblind and I don't care.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah, but other
right.
people might. At least that's what
Yeah.
they tell me.
Yeah.
These two things don't go together. Don't ever do this again. Which is why all my shirts are the same color with the same
Right.
logo. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Otherwise, I get lime green.
you like the citrus. That's why you were citrus at MacBook Neo. Apple did introduce an App Store monthly subscription with a 12-month commitment. They announced the launch of a new subscription option for Apple App Store developers, monthly subscriptions with 12-month commitments. The new option will allow developers to offer subscriptions discounted pricing, typically associated with an annual subscription, but paid on a monthly basis to keep payments more affordable. Just basically hide how much it really costs. This new payment system will allow you to offer subscribers more affordable options. People can cancel their subscriptions at any time, so you're not committed that whole year. You can cancel it out at any time, which will prevent the subscription from renewing when you've already agreed and that pesty you forget that you subscribed to it, and then it renews and then you can't get your refund back for another year. Apple says the new feature provides transparency to users by allowing them to easily view the number of completed and remaining payments, so they put towards their annual commitment, and Apple will send emails and optional push notifications as well. Developers can start creating these new subscriptions types in the App Store Connect and testing of them in Xcode. That's starting this week. And notably, it's just going to be in the United States and Singapore. It says it appears the United States and Singapore will be excluded from these subscriptions for the time being, and there's no word on where that's going to roll out in these markets. That's kind of strange. Maybe it's laws in the United States and Singapore that allow this. So that's kind of disappointing because someone wants to be able to do that. I mean, I know developers are already offering like a monthly or a yearly based on whatever you want to choose. Because I think there's many of them out there that allows you to do it already. But it's not a commitment type of thing like this is.
I think the reason is what's different is, so I'm a developer and I just made myself a new weather app. I'm going to give you a discount if you commit to a year of me doing this, right? Because I know I have you for a year, that kind of thing. But it increases your cost if you can't afford $199 to pay me right now. So you're getting the same commitment from that person. They will buy this for a year. but you're just letting them pay it over time. So you're basically giving the discount for the commitment, not for the, and I think that makes sense.
Yeah, but it does change canceling.
Yeah.
Because currently you can cancel anything at any time, and then whatever that cycle is,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
just won't continue. But this
Yeah.
is a weird one where you can cancel it, and it'll finish at the end of whenever your 12 months run out.
Mhm.
But there might still be payments even after you canceled it.
Yeah, right.
And I'm guessing that's too complicated for the US right now.
Yeah. I suspect so. I expect it's laws too, but yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be a real cool thing here. So, Apple may be reconsidering MagSafe future on upcoming iPhones. It was kind of a rumor, so I don't usually like to do rumors here, but I thought this was kind of interesting. Apple might be currently questioning the future of MagSafe on its smartphones. This was debated whether or not this magnetic charging system as its standard feature. Yeah, this is definitely. This was a source that has some quality, or I don't know for quality, but they've been known for some pretty good reports on these leaks. The company's questions keeping magnets due to a future redesign, maybe what it is. That's potentially that they might drop it because of magnets. Because there were, when they released the 16E last year, they didn't put it in there, and maybe that was kind of the test there because it didn't have MagSafe. You could do MagSafe, but you had to put a ring in place in order to be able for it to completely stay attached. Now and then they reversed course and went to the 17E, and then added MagSafe back. I don't know. Is MagSafe I think this more drove to me to bring this up only because is it something that people are still using, or do they like to use MagSafe versus just plugging in a normal USB-C cable? And because you got to buy that extra cable. It does charge a little faster, but you also have to have a case that accepts it, because some people like to have those pop sockets and all those other crazy things that go on the back and it doesn't work and all that stuff. What do you think, Eric, on this?
Oh, people are definitely using it. And they use the magnets for all kinds of other things.
Right.
You can
You can put
drop
the
an adapter.
AirPods on it.
Yeah, and you drop an adapter that lets you you have suction cups attached to the back of your phone and plop it onto a table or whatever for recipe display while you're doing prep work. Yeah. So whatever they come up with, I guess they're going to have to start selling cases that have magnets there to kind of work around it. As far as the charging, they're at least going to have to solve that problem of if your phone gets turned off, the solution is to use MagSafe to bring it back. Who knows? So
yeah,
I love MagSafe.
Yep. Oh, I do too. I like it. It works well. I mean, Apple Watch. That's a good example that they stuck with that completely because it's a much easier way to. They don't want. They didn't want to have ports in a Apple Watch because then it just makes it less attractive, keeping it clean. But I use it. I mean, I've got a MagSafe stand at my bedside when I charge my iPhone every night. So, so I'm using it.
Much safer than a cable that comes across your neck in the middle of the night.
Then there's that. Yeah. Jill, Marty, anything else to add to this?
I've got 3 MagSafe stands on my desk for 2 phones and a third. And then I have one bedside. I can't remember the last time I plugged my phone in with a USB-C port. I do it in the car. And the reason I do it in the car is because my vents don't work very well for putting one of those adapters in it. And I don't want to glue anything to my dashboard. So that's the only time I use it. So, and generally on long trips, it's not here to the university and back. I don't plug it in. I don't power it in that way. But if I'm going from, Ohio to Chicago, then that becomes real important. in terms of it. But MagSafe, I think, is ubiquitous at this point for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Wither Bucket says that I have to use. I have yet to use MagSafe, but I'd like to settle on one eventually, like Anchor. Yep, I would agree with that. Anchor is really good, makes really good products.
Yeah.
You should try it because it does. I'm sure Marty has one right next to him there. That's an Anchor product. So, yeah, let's check that out and try it.
I have a really
MagSafe's
neat
good.
one that folds up to about the size of a pack of cigarettes, and that will charge my phone, charge my earbuds, and also charge my watch when I unfold it.
I have that
kind of
one.
expensive, but it's
I have
great.
one of those, yeah.
Yeah.
I have one of those.
Yeah.
And then he also said that even every car I've gotten has a worse dashboard and air vents for phone mounts that they seem to get weirder.
Yeah.
He's right. I've tried everything and having a mount, and it's just I haven't found one that's great. So
Well, I got a company for you. It's ProClip USA. You tell it what car it has, and it has a system for it. So if you can't find one, but I have Honda Element, and it has this amazing bracket that does not fit in an air vent, and it's MagSafe, and so it charges, and it sticks my phone to it at the same time. And I think I couldn't do without it. But if you need one, ProClip probably has something for your car.
If you find the link on that,
I'll get you a link right here.
Yeah, thanks. All right, let's move to some news stories and see where we're at here. Well, I am ecstatic this is happening. Apple shares Ted Lasso season 4 streaming date and teaser trailer. Oh my God, it's exciting! I missed this show a lot. They announced that the hit comedy drama series is going to be returning for a 4th season with the first episode on Wednesday, August 5th. So we got a number of months yet to go here, 4 to be exact. And new episode will follow every Wednesday thereafter through October 7th. So it's only going to be like it looks like we're going to have about 15 episodes or so, maybe. Ted Lasso was one of the most popular shows ever released on the Apple TV streaming service. Yes, it was. The eponymous character of Ted Lasso, played by Jason Sudeikis, starred as a small-time football coach in Kansas who was hired to do a professional soccer football team in England. Despite having no coaching experience, he's coming back this time around, but he's going to be coaching a second division women's football team instead. So you're going to learn before you leap, and there's a trailer, and I can't wait. All the fun fan favorites are coming back, including Hannah Weddingham, Juno Temple, Brett Goldstein, Brendan Hunt, and Jeremy Swift are all set to return. So it was 2023, so it's 3 years ago since the season 3 was released. So they finally realized that you need to be able to do these things, and got to keep them current. But I guarantee it's going to be a crazy time when that comes out to be able to watch it. You all like Ted Lasso as much as I do? But I think you're mute, Eric.
Yeah, it was really nice. I really liked it.
Yeah. Are you still catching up on Ted Lasso, aren't you, Marty?
Yeah, I am, and I have to make a plug for Nick Mohammed, who is does a wonderful job in the show, but also was on Taskmaster as a comedian, and it was kind of fun to see him on that British show for the series that, I don't know, it was a couple of series back.
Yeah. Yep. Jill, you like Ted Lasso too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's time to get excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Watching the Formula One this weekend, as we're recording this week, you can now see the Miami Grand Prix live on Apple TV this weekend. It's returning to the United States this weekend for the highly anticipated Miami Grand Prix. Fans across the country can catch every single moment of the racing action streamed live on Apple TV this week as the season heats up, and it brings fresh strategies to the track, hoping to secure a spot at the podium and completely reshape the championship standings. Apple does have some pretty amazing multi-view angles in the live broadcast, as well as it's a great way to watch the whole weekend unfold. And that's, I think, was really the thing that what Apple did when it comes to this You can even watch it in public screenings in a Times Square or at a select IMAX theater. So they've got that going too. That's actually coming up this weekend, Friday, May 1st through Sunday, May 3rd. So you're going to have the practice sessions, the main qualifying, and then the actual races on Sunday. And I think Apple's has got a big hit on their hands. I know Marty, you've been watching a lot of watching that just to see the technology and how Apple is doing it, and I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, finally a live Formula One that I don't have to wake up at 3:00 in the morning to see.
Yeah, because exactly. Or you can watch it later. They have it recorded for you. Just don't want to check the news so that they have to tell you who won. So finally, since we're recording this on a Wednesday, I had a little scheduling conflict. That's why we changed. We usually record on Thursday, so we're going to miss the earnings call, which is going to be happening tomorrow, but we'll cover it next week to get our thoughts. But the earnings call will be on Thursday, April 30th, which is tomorrow as we record here, giving investors and analysts and Apple a closer look how the company performed during the March quarter. It's going to have financial numbers in the stock market after the stock market closes, as well as the live earnings call. This will probably be Tim Cook's last one. If this, they may have one more before September, so maybe they'll have one more. So that's at it's at 5 p.m. Eastern time. That's the gauge of the timing there. So what we're going to expect, they're probably going to have show some momentum's going up for this the iPhone 17 on guarantee services is going to have some huge numbers, as well as definitely John Turnus will be making some comments too, I would hope. So we'll cover that next week, and you check that out. And guys, think of what you think Apple's had a good quarter. I think they're going to have a pretty amazing quarter, especially with the MacBook Neo sales.
Yeah, I'm sure the Neo is kicking them right over the goal line.
Yeah, they have had a big uptick in laptop and devices that as a percentage jump, I mean, a huge percentage jump. So that's going to probably be talked about or reflected here. Obviously what happens during these calls is reporters ask them things that they can't comment on.
Right, of course.
So tell us when the Vision Pro glasses are coming out. It's sort of you can feel for the people who are asking the questions. It's sort of like, they got to ask the question. There might be one chance that they'll actually answer a question like that, and then they have a story on their hands. But I'm giving a final exam during that time, but I might put an earbud in one ear to listen to it.
Oh, that's awesome. So, and then final story here before we get close to wrapping up. Apple Pay for transit is now working in these 12 U.S. cities. Several major U.S. cities support the Apple Pay for transit feature that Apple has rolled out, providing a simpler way for those who use public transportation to pay for rides. Apple Pay Transit works in Atlanta, the Bay Area, Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Orange County, California, Philadelphia, Portland, San Diego, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. So you got all the three major cities and a few others. So that's good to see. Some of these cities have been supporting Apple Pay for transit purposes for several years. Others, like Atlanta, support just as of this year, 2026. And Atlanta launched its Tap to Pay MARTA contactless system in March, allowing iPhone and Apple Watch users to tap to pay. Cities that support the Pay for Transit allow iPhone owners to use their express mode to pay transit fares without having the need to unlock your device or authenticate with the Face ID and Touch ID. So you'll be able to do that. When a credit card or debit card is associated with the express mode, it can be used to pay for transit automatically with no authentication. We seem to have a story a couple weeks ago with Marquez Brownlee that this was exploited, if I remember correctly. And iPhone models that support power reserve transit payments can also be made when the iPhone's out of battery. That's kind of cool. So and it says it is available on the 10S or later. So that's kind of older devices too still work. So, there is fare capping. So you've got on a credit or debit card for the wallet app for transit, while other cities require a specific transit card to be added to the Apple Wallet. The Bay Area works with the Clipper app or the credit card. Chicago systems will only work with the Ventra card, and LA's transit works with the Tap, and so on and so forth. So with fare capping, including in New York's OMNY system, for example, subway and local fares are capped at $35 a week. So someone doesn't abuse it. So, but you say the 6S and the iPhone SE later will support express mode. That's crazy. So I don't take public transit too often anymore, but this is very helpful for a lot of people, don't you think, guys?
It's really nice in Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
because it's hard to get around, and lots of delays when it comes to that. So,
I was gonna say I traveled places, because I used to travel for work, and I've taken BART, I've taken the DC Metro, I've taken the Onion card in New York City, and it's I wish they would have gotten rid of the card. It seems like you still need the card, and then need to add it to Apple Wallet, which is unfortunate because you get a new town, you don't know that. Luckily, I had Alex, my New York boyfriend, tell me I needed an Onion card in New York. Otherwise, I would have had no idea, and I wish they would get rid of that complexity and just let you Apple Pay. But it's a good step in the right direction.
It is.
Yeah, that was my beef with it, basically, with Chicago. The last time I took transit in Chicago, I couldn't even get the machine to give me what I needed out of the machine, and there were like 3 employees standing around talking to each other, and eventually I called them over and they tried to get it to work. They couldn't get it to work, so they just opened the gate and said, "Go ahead, go in." But I would just love to walk up with my phone and tap and go without having to do a Venture card. It's just another layer of complexity for folks who are already in the system and are doing that regular. This is just not, I think, as visitor friendly as it could be.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, well, the nice thing about this, I was just trying to think about this, is the nice thing about this is, so I would go to DC, I would go to New York, and then I would go over here and I go over there, and I would have 20 different cards in this room somewhere of transit systems, and I don't know where they are, and so then I have to buy another one the next time I went to and this, at least I don't have cards floating around all over the place with $10 on them.
Yeah. So, with that, let's before we wrap up, I want to talk about MacStock. MacStock Conference and Expo is coming soon. 70 days as we record here. It's coming up quickly here, and it is with a topic and we're following is called Inspire. If you're into Apple, like I think everybody is that listens to this show and watches this show, we're gonna have 3 full days of presentations and workshops. Jill, myself, Marty, Chuck, Jeff Gammett, all are speaking. Allison Sheridan is speaking. We got so many others, but the one cool thing is David Pogue is going to be joining us this year. We were, Mike was able to talk to him. He had him on a live stream, and he is going to join us. He's going to join us and have a presentation on Friday, as well as he's going to have an evening with David Pogue, because he is such a fun guy to listen to. And as anybody doesn't know, he's written the book Apple: The First 50 Years. You can go back and listen to and watch episode 417 that we did an interview with him, and the book is awesome. So, but they're also going to have books available that you could purchase at MacStock, as well as be able to have him sign it. So I think that's going to be pretty exciting. So again, it's 3 full days. It's on July 10th, 11th, and 12th. But they have an additional bonus here where you've got a creator camp from Ecamm. Here's Creator Camp. It's the Creator Camp Mac edition, and MacStock did partner with Ecamm with our friends Katie Folks and Doc Rock. I can't wait to see them again. They're such great people. The Ecamm fan, we use Ecamm here all the time, use it on this show, and Marty does as well. So we really love eCam, and this is going to be a pretty amazing event, and you're going to be able to just learn so many things that we don't even know. We'll be learning it for a while, so we're definitely going to be attending here. But it's an added bonus, so that will be on the Thursday on July 9th. Be able to get that, so you can get the combo pass, and there's going to be tons of fun stuff going on. The bonus evenings. Marty's presentation is going to be a tech support. What is that? What is going to be your support on Saturday night?
Yeah, it's going to be a large group experience with smaller groups where you can drop in and drop out of the group and ask questions and get suggestions from people. So, like, I don't know anything about automating my home, but I'm interested in it. So hopefully I'll find a group of folks I can sit down to and say, how do you do it? What does it work? What are the problems with it? And so it's not just, I can't get my computer to do this, or I spilled water on it. How do I clean it up? It's
Right.
also kind of an opportunity for people to share their knowledge in small groups around topics that you bring to it. And that every group member can bring to it. Or if you don't have a topic, just hang out in a group and see what you learn.
Absolutely. Definitely join us. We're gonna have so much fun. It's great to see everybody. You'll feel among friends. There's such amazing networking. Everybody, all the presenters are approachable. They'll talk with you. They'll give you tips, and anything you ask questions or technical support. It happens at MacStock. People ask questions all the time. They love to get those answers. That's one of the biggest reasons people come is because they know it's a nice boutique event. It's a cozy event. You have 100 to 150 people, maybe some more. Who depends? David might track some more. We hope. But if you go to MacStockConference.com and go to register, you can register either the package for the 3 days MacStock alone, or you can add the 4th day and go with the Creator Camp. Well, if you use the code INTOUCH at checkout, that's for that. You heard that here on In Touch with iOS. You'll get $50 off the admission fees for that weekend. So INTOUCH and at checkout in the coupon code, and you'll be able to get a great time will be had at MacStock. So MacStockConference.com. And thanks to Mike Potter and him putting together this great show. And the link will be in the show notes as well. So with that, we're going to wrap up. But before we do, I want to find out where everybody can be found. Let's start. We'll reverse the order here. Let's start with Eric Bolden. Thanks for being here, Eric. And where can people find you?
Well, I can be found out next to whatever plants are outside. Otherwise, Mastodon at eabolden at mas.to. Sundays, chatting about the Neo on the Neo Notebook. Mondays on Vision Profiles. Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live, and of course Thursdays, Wednesday this week, In Touch with iOS.
Thank you. All right. Marty Jencius, thank you as always for being here. Always appreciate you being here. And where can people find you?
Some of the same places Eric talked about. Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time with the Neo Notebook. Mondays with Vision Profiles. Tuesdays with Chuck on Mac Voices Live. Thursday with Dave here on In Touch with iOS. And then Friday mornings with the British Tech Network. Do a lot of other podcasts. You can find them at the website, thepodtalk.net. And there's probably something there you'll find fascinating and that you at least want to try out. So You can connect with me directly at Jencius, Jencius, on any of the socials.
Excellent. Thanks, Marty. Last but certainly not least, Jill McKinley. So happy you're here, and I'm glad you were here with us this week and every week. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find everything I do at jillfromthenorthwoods.com. I just have 6 episodes deep in a brand new podcast about getting started with AI and just normal everyday uses for it. And it's called Small Steps with AI.
Excellent. Thank you. And with that, that's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky and Mastodon at In Touch with iOS. Support the show. Buy me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We would really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers available to support the show. We would really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe when you're notified, and you're notified when we are live streaming, which is usually Thursday nights, but it was Wednesday this week. But Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/InTouchWithIOS, where we had Witherbucket there today, and I think I forgot if there was anybody else there, but if you were there,
Adam,
we appreciate you. Oh, or Craig.
Craig,
Thank
yeah.
you. Yes, thanks, Craig, for being here as well. But you can join us live and hang out and chat with us live while we're doing the show here. So you go to that YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch the live stream, the previous live streams and the live stream, as well as listen to past shows. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, many others. Better yet, just go to our website, intouchwithios.com, because all the places to listen to us are there. And I did say Witherbucket. And I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me at the following podcasts. I think pretty much everybody was said it here, but I'll mention it again. The Neo Notebook Sunday nights about the MacBook Neo. FOMO, I'm in it. I'm all in. And with Eric and Marty on Sunday nights. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern. And on Monday nights, Vision Profiles. Same thing happened. FOMO, had a Vision Pro. And doing Vision Pro on it's at 8 p.m. Is it 8 p.m.? No, it's 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday nights, Mac Voices Live. That's back with the Chuck Joyner and the folks here. Jill, we got to get you on Mac Voices Live. I don't know what we're waiting for here. We got to get you on.
I'm tied up usually on Tuesday nights.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I didn't know that.
Sorry.
So we try.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get a break and you have to come on. But join us. We have an absolute blast on that show. Thursdays usually here for In Touch with iOS. Fridays on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network. That's the Mac Show. And you can find me on social media at Blue Sky and Mastodon's at DaveG65. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We had a great time doing this show, and I hope you enjoyed it. Until then, we'll talk again soon.